Several months ago, I did my second hike of my 46ers journey. I chose the Santanoni Range. This is a day that completely flipped from what I was expecting. I started at 4 a.m. driving up from Albany to the trailhead. After getting my gear in order, I started at around 6:20 a.m. The first part of the trail was a breeze. It starts on an old road that is no longer in use. The grade was easy, and I made quick work of the first few miles. My intention was to be thoughtful about how I would record this hike. I had my GoPro on my shoulder strap and would use my phone to capture the rest. At around 3.5 miles, the trail splits from the main trail. It was at this point the forecasted showers for 6 p.m. began. I got drenched as I was approaching the base of the Santanoni Express. Before I started my ascent, I put on my rain jacket, got some water, and quickly realized my phone was going to be useless in this rain. The Santanoni Express is a difficult path that is barely a shoulder-width trail, straight up the mountain. Everything was wet. Rocks were slick, and the exposed tree roots provided iffy footing. The climb out of the valley was slow and miserable. Eventually, but not before completely submerging my leg in a mud bog, I made it to the top, and then just a little further, made it to the summit of Santanoni Mountain. There was no view because of the weather, just the wind and a sign to let you know you made it to the summit. After a brief break, I made my way to the Times Square junction. After making it to Times Square, I began my descent to Couchsachraga. From what I read in the guidebook, it's an infamous trail that is slick and demoralizing. You feel you are going out to the ends of the earth to get there. In the saddle between the mountains, I encountered the bog. Had I not already been knee-high in mud once already, this might have been more intimidating. I made it across by balancing on sticks and roots. Right at the end, I once again sank my entire leg into the mud. The top of Couchsachraga was uneventful, no more than a food and water break. I backtracked back to the junction. This 3-mile out and back is challenging, and on this rainy day, all the worse. After climbing back to Times Square, I made my way north to another junction, Herald Square. From there, it's a very quick ascent to the top of Panther Mountain. I had hoped that after 3 summits and a change of socks, that the worst was behind me. I was very wrong. The descent off Panther was my least favorite part of the day. Tired legs, rain, and a steep grade meant it took an hour to do the 1-mile descent. Back at the main trail, I was frustrated and still had 4 miles to get back to the car. However, the main trail felt like a highway. My feet could now actually keep a consistent stride. It was monotonous, but I knew I could make it back to the car before dark. After about an hour and a half, my pruned hands and tired feet made it back. It was about 15.5 miles in 11 hours total time. I'm glad to have gotten these summits out of the way on only my second outing of my 46ers experience. This would have been challenging even in good weather. The terrible conditions, though, is what made this day memorable. Hopefully, my next trail will give me better conditions.